Welcome to the Community Difference Plano, powered by the Difference Media LLC, and hosted by Nathan Smith with the Enfuego Group, and also sponsored by Jacqueline Kreider with Financial Mastery Simplified, Christy Moe with Cohesive Confidence, Diane Castle with Castle to Castle, Tracy Duff with Assisted Living Locators, Cyndi Durrance with A Place at Home, Susanna Austin with Canine Resorts, Audra Hooper with Audra Hooper Integrated Health, and by Kirk Hodgson with Assured Partners. The Community Difference Plano was created to serve as a platform for local leaders and business professionals to showcase their expertise, values, and commitment to their community. Overall, the podcast aims to create a stronger sense of community in North Texas by highlighting the often overlooked or unnoticed good work being done by local leaders, businesses, and professionals. So sit back and relax as our host, co-host, and their guests share inspirational stories, experiences, thoughts, and insights about being a professional, along with the opportunities for our businesses to serve our communities in very special ways. Because the Community Difference Plano starts now.
Good morning, Plano. Good morning. It's 11:32 on a very chilly Wednesday morning. This is the Community Difference Plano, episode 54, a podcast firmly rooted at the intersection of business development and community involvement. I'm your host, Nathan Smith with the Enfuego Group, where we specialize in guiding your personal finances to help you properly protect your income. Let's get right to it today. This is episode 54, as I mentioned, and part 3 of our topic, building the right relationships to build your business, leveraging strategic networking to unlock untapped opportunities. We'll dive into that in our third segment. But first, in order to help me do that, we've got a great lineup of guests and co-hosts today. First, meet Cyndi Durrance, a respiratory therapist with over 25 years of experience and a heart as big as Texas. From helping patients breathe easy to serving on boards and starring in mystery plays, she's all about making a difference in her community. Now with a place at home in North Texas, she's ready to share how building the right relationships can open up unexpected opportunities while having fun along the way. Please welcome to the show, Cyndi Durrance. Cyndi, good morning.
Hi, everyone.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, trying to stay warm.
Yeah, it's that's pretty much the only focus. It's frigid. Have you been outside yet?
Yes, I warmed up my car for a long time today. Put on the seat heater, put the heat on, got it nice and toasty before I came to work.
Well, that's important. That's good. Well, let's meet your co-host today. Let's meet Kirk Hodgson, a risk management maestro with over 35 years of experience in the insurance world. He doesn't just offer insurance, he crafts peace of mind for accomplished individuals and families. He's got the secret sauce to keeping life's risks under control. What if the key to uncovering untapped opportunities in business, though, lies in managing and building the right relationships the right way? So Kirk's going to share how building expertise with strategic connections can open doors that you didn't even know existed. Kirk, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Nathan. Good morning, Cyndi.
Hi, good morning, Kirk.
And I, too, am trying to stay warm in this quite chilly Texas day.
Yeah, that's about all we can talk about. We've got a good topic, but everybody's just trying to stay warm today. It's pretty sad, though, honestly, that it's not even really, it's not snowy, but events at our church shut down, I guess, because they thought it might snow. We get a lot of might happens here in Texas when it comes to winter.
Yes.
We're just not prepared for it. So, well, we're prepared to offer a great topic discussion today, and we're going to get into our What's Up segment in just a moment. But let's bring in our guest this morning. Meet Jeanne Brosseau, a superhero in disguise, but instead of a cape, she's armed with 15 plus years of healthcare expertise and a certified dementia practitioner badge. She's mastered the fine art of juggling hospice, palliative care, and home health while making sure patients get the advocacy they deserve. Today, she's going to share how building the right relationships can transform your network into a powerful engine for unlocking untapped opportunities. Jeanne, good morning to you.
Good morning. And actually, it's Jeannie. I know.
Oh,
the way that my mother spelled my name is so confusing. So
It is. Oh, wow.
Everybody gets it wrong.
Man, I'm so sorry. I feel terrible.
Oh no,
No,
don't
that
be
makes more
please.
sense now that I looked at it right. But, okay, Jeannie. I'm going to put that phonetically so I get that right.
Good
Well,
morning.
we're glad to have you on the show this morning. Your home looks cozy. It looks very warm.
It is cozy.
Okay, good. Well, what are you most excited about this morning? We're glad to have you here.
What am I most excited about this morning? Just collaborating with everyone, learning new ideas, bringing what has worked for me. Hopefully there's some insights that other people can glean from my experience. So I love having these in-depth discussions on making our businesses run better.
Well, I think that's important because we're going to definitely do that here in just a moment. But first, we're going to transition when we come back from commercial break, our What's Up Plano segment. We're going to dive into some important things that are happening in the community, what you need to know, and some opportunities that you can take advantage of. So stick around. We'll be right back on the Community Difference Plano.
The Community Difference Plano is made possible by Nathan Smith with the Enfuego Group, Diane Castle with Castle to Castle, connecting charities to fundraising solutions, Tracy Duff with Assisted Living Locators, Jacqueline Kreider with Financial Mastery Simplified, Christy Mull with Cohesive Confidence, Susanna Austin with K9 Resorts, Audra Hooper with Audra Hooper Integrated Health, Cyndi Durrance with A Place at Home, and by Kirk Hodgson with Assured Partners. The Community Difference Plano. Together, we can make the difference. And now, back to the show.
Are you ready?
Because it's time for
What's Up Plano?
That's right. What's Up Plano, brought to you by Love and War in Texas, which is in Plano, right there off of Plano Parkway. We are actually going to be there on Thursday, the 27th at from 11:30 to 1. You can come out and join us for our Business Development Alliance Lunch and Learn. We'll have City Councilman Shelby Williams there. We're also going to be talking about transforming the sales cycle, leveraging social platforms to establish the know, like, and trust component of building rapport. So if you are in Plano, you have questions about the business environment, the economic development, what's coming for 2025, or if you're not in Plano, you may want to come out and just get an idea of what's happening in Plano and take it back to your city and say, hey, why aren't you guys doing that here? And so it's going to be a great time to meet people, to learn some in-depth topics that hopefully will help your business thrive and make those connections that we're going to be talking about, those untapped opportunities here in our third segment. Next, that night, actually, so you come out and join us for the 27th from 11:30 to 1, and then that night, the North Texas Food Bank is putting on their 25th anniversary of their Empty Bowls campaign, which is really to help the homeless, right? It's a great event. You can register to show up. Obviously, it's an event for that evening. It's 21 and over. You can register at North Texas Facebook, ntfb.org. If I could read here, that'd be helpful. You can see the link down below here. Register, come out, support a great cause. Obviously, they're always taking donations, but Tracy Duff, one of our co-hosts from last week, shared this, and we want to just keep touting this because they just do such a great job with our community here. All right, Cyndi, you had a great guest on last month, and that guest is going to be doing some interesting things in the political sphere. Let's talk about that.
Yes, Tammy Warren was last month's guest, and she is running for City Councilman District 3 McKinney. She's having a kickoff on the 26th of February. I think we have her flyer, so everyone can get to know her goals, her values, what she wants to do for the city of McKinney.
So why is it, and now I ask you this, you can open up to everybody. Why is it important to take advantage of these types of events? You may, depending on what side of the aisle you're on, right? Some of these positions, some of our city council, I know this is not city council, but some positions are kind of they don't have a party designation attached to. But either way, why is it important when our local leaders put themselves out there to be a part of, hey, come out and figure out what they're all about? Why is that a good thing?
It's a good thing because people need to know who they're voting for. People need to know the values of what's going to affect their life and their community, their children, their workplace, all of those things that are in our everyday life. You want someone that's going to represent you.
Kirk, what do you think? Why do you think for a lot of business owners that the and really citizens in general, the local politics which affect them the most are often the ones that they don't show up to the polls, they don't investigate, they're not really heavily involved in?
Nathan, I think they're not taking the time to look at the local scene and really get involved with the local scene. It's easy to look at the national picture. It gets a lot more splash, a lot more notoriety and promo. But I think it behooves us to really kind of think back and what we can do locally, how we can be involved locally. And that starts with getting to know our local representatives and city council. And I think it's really important for our communities that we, to Cindy's point earlier, we're getting to know the right people that are voting the right way and are moving the city in the same direction that we want to see us go.
Jeanne, what have you seen as far as the importance of business owners, the difference that it can make when you are aware, when you're kind of starting at the level that affects you the most, and then kind of working out to the national level? How have you seen that maybe in your personal business or in just your community? How have you seen that make a difference? I think you're muted.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Now, actually being a grandmother, I think it actually even affects me more, because now I'm looking at what's going to be affecting their lives as well as my adult children. And as far as connecting it to business, you have to know what's going on in your local community and what is going to be happening on the national front to relate it to what you're doing, and how is that going to affect your business plan going forward, because all of those decisions that are being made are going to affect you.
I couldn't agree more. Now, Cyndi, you've got something else. I won't steal the thunder. I'm just going to let you share this because I'm really excited about it as well.
Our next month's guest is Rick Grady. He is president of the Collin County Veterans Coalition. And on March 25th, we are taking 64, maybe another bus, depending on how many people sign up, veterans to the National Medal of Honor Museum in Arlington, Texas. We're going on a tour. We're having lunch, and it's going to be really exciting. The National Medal of Honor Museum is in Arlington, Texas. And this is just a thrilling opportunity to reminisce and to get veterans together and honor them.
Go ahead. We're gonna.
Oh, you go ahead. I was going to say something about.
I was going to say it's interesting that this is kind of the power of having a strong local business coalition. I know Jerry Jones was a very integral part of making that happen. But our national capital dropped the ball on the National Veterans Museum, which is not overly surprising, I guess, if we're being honest with ourselves. But having a strong business community here, having the right people in our community, we were able to kind of pick up the pieces and make it happen, which I think is a good testament to North Texas, but also shows the power of what small businesses in conjunction with larger corporations on the local front can actually accomplish if they work together.
Jerry Jones donated the land, and Boeing is sponsoring our trip on the 25th.
Too bad Jerry can't donate a Super Bowl victory. That'd be great.
I know,
but
we got to make it well first.
He does do a ton of great stuff for the community, though, which is obviously a wonderful thing. And then tell us about, speaking of veterans, we've got a big event coming up with The Difference that we want kind of all hands on deck, anybody that wants to partner with us. And there'll be a lot more information coming out over the next couple of weeks. But talk about our Veterans Job Fair.
Yes, at the American Legion on Avenue J. American Legion Post 321, we are having a Veterans Job Fair, and
May
Colonel
31st.
Alan West is going to be there, and we're looking to host anywhere from 200 to 400 veterans.
Yeah, so it's going to be on the 31st. So come out and meet Colonel Alan West. If you are not a veteran and you're maybe not even looking for a job opportunity, but you want to know more about what is the American Legion? What does it do? Why is it beneficial? Or maybe you want to meet Colonel West. Come on out, right? Make sure you go ahead and you can still register at this link. Just just make sure you note that you're not a veteran, and you're just coming to get more information on the event. But we'd love to have you out there, just to meet Colonel West, to talk to Dave Sweeney, our partner with the American Legion. The American Legion does some great work for veterans, and I personally did not know much about it until recently. And so I think it's, again, so many things at the local level that are happening that we are not aware of, and just taking that time to be involved and to figure out, what kind of partnerships I can make, what kind of opportunities of impact that I can do as a citizen, as a business owner, bringing people together. This is a multi-collaborative event that we're putting on, and it's going to be a really good deal. So hopefully you guys, in one capacity or another, will either be able to partner with us. Maybe you're a veteran and you want to sign up to come out and see what's available new career-wise, or you just want to come out and get some more information on the American Legion. We welcome you to do that. Now, as we wrap up here, I'm bring in Jennifer D'Artez. Jennifer D'Artez is the owner of Voodoo Brewery in Plano. Been here about a year now, I think, right? Coming up on a year, or has it been a year?
Yes. March 8th will be a year. We're excited about it.
Coming up very fast on a year.
Yeah.
Jennifer, they partnered with us some last year. We hosted some of our happy hours there, and they're really just planted right in the middle of downtown, kind of get the feel of the energy of downtown. Let's start here. What are some things coming up at Voodoo that people need to know about that are going to be just fun, exciting events for the community?
So our 1-year anniversary is coming up. We're going to celebrate it all year. We're going to start off with a crawfish boil on Saturday. Right. It's going to be a first come, first serve starting at 2:00. So make sure you get there so that way you can get lots of crawfish.
I'll be there at 1:00. Oh, there we go.
I'll be there at noon.
That is a smart idea. Yes. Then the rest of the week, we will have different events. On Sunday, we'll have the Oscars, an Oscars party. Then Mardi Gras is on that Tuesday, which we will be giving out free king cake all day long. And we'll have different specials and things like that throughout the whole week. Then on Saturday is where I really want everybody to come out and support us and just, be as excited as we are that we made it a year, and super excited about that. Also, we have things going on every week. We have trivia on Wednesdays. We have music bingo on Mondays, happy hour Monday through Friday. We have brunch on Sunday. So lots of opportunities to come out and or just come out and have a beer with us, So
do you get anything? Don't they have the little tiny baby in the king cake? Is that a thing?
Yes,
what
it
if
sure
you find
is.
it? Do you get is there something special if you get that piece?
So it is said to be that you are lucky.
Okay.
And also that you have to bring the next king cake.
Oh, well.
So all growing up in school, we would have it every Friday. And whoever got it on that Friday, the next Friday, you had to bring a king cake. So that's always been the tradition.
All the parties I have been to, they did not mention the bringing the cake the next time. Okay, well, there you go.
Yes.
Well, so also in downtown coming up in March is the Texas Forever Fest, one of the largest Texas independence celebrations. It's on March 22nd. Why is this? I know you guys will be open. Obviously, y'all were slammed last year, which is good for you. But so also make sure people know you need to get there early if you want to check out Voodoo, and then obviously go over to Haggard Park. But why is that such a great event for business owners and the community as a whole right there in downtown Plano?
Well, because it just gets to celebrate Texas. So different artists and just different entrepreneurs from the area will come out and have booths down there. We will be, just in our location. And like you said, we were slammed last year. It was like an hour-long wait to get food at some points. But yeah, it's just a really fun time. There's music. There's lots of art, different booths. So yeah, it'll be from 11 to 6. And also you want to get out there early. There's koozies. You can get your free koozie. That's exciting. So
there's live music, there's all kinds of vendors, there's stuff for kids, there's different businesses. I challenge you, if you are a business owner, go out there, walk around, meet some people, start making some connections. It's a great place to just get to know the community around you, especially the downtown community. As a business owner, we talk about this a lot, Jennifer, but your experience, you guys are new in Plano, relatively speaking, right? Been there almost a year. What have you learned about the importance of, giving back, the importance of hosting events, the importance of being a kind of a central place for people to gather, really embedding yourself, especially in the downtown community? Why is that important for local business owners, and what have you experienced thus far?
Well, we've really experienced just getting to know everybody, and that's been really good. And I think whenever we get to know them and they get to know us, they trust us, they like us, and so that's really important to have the customer relationship, and that also strengthens just kind of the brand. It gets your name out there, and people want to talk about you. We get people almost every day that have never been in before, and we ask how they found out about us, and a lot of times it's word of mouth, and seeing it on Facebook, somebody sharing it, social media, a friend sharing it, something like that. Also, I've loved giving back. We did a lot in November with giving back to the community, different organizations, Journey of Hope, Minnie's Pantry, and the Children's Hospital. We did different drives for them for toys and things like that. And so it just kind of warms my heart to know that we help somebody. And I love teaching my children that also, that giving back is really important.
What have you seen come from those opportunities of giving back? Like, you don't necessarily give to get, but a lot of times if you give to give, it does sometimes come back around to you. What opportunities or relationships have kind of fostered there that you didn't see coming or didn't know, didn't even think about being a possibility?
Yeah. So the best one off the top of my head was over the summer. My oldest daughter ran a little kind of camp for kids, and we were collecting donations for different organizations, and one of them was Journey of Hope. And not really thinking anything of it, she contacted me. The marketing lady at Journey of Hope contacted me and asked if she could have Santa Claus come to the pub in December. And this was, back in June. And I'm like, sure, yeah, that'd be great. And it was so much fun. They had Santa Claus come in, and they had, some of their people, but then also mine did too. My whole staff got around Santa and Mrs. Claus, and we had a great old time. So that's been really fun.
Well, we're going to talk more about that in our actual topic segment, but this is why, as you constantly open your eyes to building the right relationships, you never know what opportunities are going to come from that. And so I think challenge looks like you're always on the look for that next opportunity that's going to not only help your business grow, but help you, sustain it and be an integral part of the growth of Plano as well. As we wrap up, last question: what's your favorite thing about Plano?
Really the community. I just didn't know how I was going to fit in with downtown Plano, being that there are so many restaurants down there already. But everyone has been so welcoming. They've asked, if we've needed help or anything like that. Just very welcoming.
What would you change about Plano if you could?
Maybe we could have a few more festivals, larger festivals, to where we could all come together. I know downtown Plano does quite a few, and that's great, but kind of as a city coming together, that would be really awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's good. Our downtown is a little bit smaller, and you can't really do much about that. It's an older city, so I think they do the best they can. But we have sections all over the country, or all over the map, basically, of Plano, where there's other opportunities for festivals and things like that. Although we do, it feels like all the festivals are kind of on the east side of Plano now that I think about it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
The festival, yeah, like they could be. You're right. That's a great point. So.
Right. So maybe at Legacy West or something like that. Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's it. That's very good. Well, thank you very much. When we come back, we will dive into building the right relationships to support to build your business, leveraging strategic networking to unlock untapped opportunities. Stick around. We'll be right back on the Community Difference Plano.
The Community Difference would like to thank each of the following partners for their continued support. At Fireboss Realty, we believe life is about relationships, and everything else is just details. Whether you're buying or selling, Scott and Amy Johnson are here to understand your family's unique needs and deliver expert guidance on the North Texas real estate market. With a reputation for integrity and personalized service, Fireboss Realty makes your home journey stress-free and successful. Ready to make your move? Visit firebossrealty.com and let's ignite your real estate dreams.
Everyone deserves access to affordable health insurance, but with traditional insurance, costs can be high and getting coverage can be complicated. JP Direct Health is a simpler, more affordable way to get the health coverage you need. With plans for individuals, families, and small businesses, you can save money on monthly premiums without the need for physicals. At jpdirecthealth.com, we specialize in customizing coverage to fit almost every budget with affordable PPO plans and many other benefits. With over 100 5-star Google reviews, JP Direct Health is a trusted resource making health insurance affordable and accessible for everyone year-round. Affordable health insurance solutions are a proactive protection, not a reactive solution. Visit jpdirecthealth.com today and see how much you can save.
I'm always here to help. Thank you.
Total Care Emergency Room now has 9 locations in the DFW Metroplex. With no appointment needed, our incredible staff will get you checked in with no wait times. Our 5-star facility is open and fully staffed 24/7. We offer extensive treatment options for patients of all ages, providing on-site labs and imaging equipment, including CT, X-ray, and ultrasound, allowing us to provide fast, convenient care for our community. Total Care ER is your neighborhood emergency room. TotalCare.us.
Unwanted pests in your home can be stressful. From creepy crawlies to critters under the floorboards, they disrupt your peace of mind. But don't worry. All Pest Solutions is here to help. We offer a comprehensive range of safe and effective pest control solutions. We target all types of pests, big or small, including insects, rodents, and wildlife. All Pest Solutions, your local experts for a pest-free home. Breathe easy and enjoy your life again. Call today for a free quote. 972-442-1169 or email us at customerservice@allpestsolutions.com.
To belong is one of our most basic human needs. Best Buddies International is the world's largest organization dedicated to ending the social isolation of 200 million individuals who have intellectual and developmental disabilities. We focus on meaningful one-to-one friendships, integrated employment, leadership development, and inclusive living. You have the power to make an impact, create change, and champion our mission of inclusion today.
Now back to the show.
Welcome back. We will jump into our topic of the month as we dive into the ability to build the right kind of business, right? The strategic networking in order to unlock. I think we cut out there for a second. Can you guys hear me okay?
Now, yes.
Not sure what happened there. We're going to focus specifically around that topic today on the competitive advantage of collaboration and then the cost of going solo versus the power of an ecosystem. So I want to open this up, kind of start off with the question, what do you think is the biggest barrier that prevents professionals from transforming their networks into an ecosystem of support rather than kind of going at it alone? And then how can we break down those walls to unlock those untapped opportunities?
I can start if you don't mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think I was trained to believe that individual success is self-driven and it involves getting ahead of your competition, which has a short impact. And I had to untrain myself or evolve to understand that if I develop a partnership by getting to know someone, finding out what they need, using the whys, I'm big into the whys this week, that creates a relationship. And if you find out, what problems people have and what they want to solve, what their goals are, if they have a logical focus on do they need to reduce their costs, Do they need to increase the benefits? Things like that. What can you do to help them, and genuinely helping them so they will know who you are and what you're about?
So, Jeannie, how do you help people see that the concept of building an ecosystem and network is going to enable them to pinpoint, either immediately or over time, develop opportunities that would be basically impossible to discover if they're just kind of going at it in a traditional fashion?
Well, one of the points to Cyndi is that it's not just about the business that you're trying to promote. You can help people in across the board in all types of business, from your circumstances, from your experiences. It doesn't necessarily have to be in that segment.
Right.
If you've had a personal experience, your child's been sick and you had to navigate the hospital system with that. It may not have anything to do with what I'm promoting as a business, but it's going to relate to that person on a more personal level. So, understand that you have value beyond what is just the business that you're in.
Yeah, I think a lot of times people, even if they're looking for collaboration, or we talk about just that kind of buzz term, unlock untapped opportunities, the opportunities may not necessarily relate directly to your business. And that's okay, because the more we partner with the community, the more we partner with other businesses, individuals, the more we become a resource for people, and we start seeing areas of opportunity just to be that resource. That is going to help us. It's going to increase our top of mind awareness, our brand. It's going to help us to be seen as somebody that is not only an expert on what we do, but a connector, somebody that can solve problems in the community.
And then you become memorable.
Right. And all that's going to do is help you grow. So how do you help people, Kirk, how do you help people see, because sometimes this can take some time, right? It doesn't always happen immediately, but you've got to make that shift where you start looking for opportunities as opposed to just showing up and expecting a transaction or something to kind of happen immediately. How do you make that shift? How do you help people tear the barriers down that are keeping them from being able to go deeper in those areas?
Well, Nathan, the question reminds me of a recent happy hour that I attended, and it was to get to know various folks, create some networking. An individual came through the happy hour area where we were gathered, and she was handing out business cards to everybody she could meet. And it felt like she may be being paid by how many business cards she gave out. It was just very, artificial, nothing personal about it. And I grabbed her at the end as I was heading out, actually. I said, what we should do is set up a one-on-one meeting so you could get to know me and I could get to know you better. And that way we develop a relationship, which then carries forward to how we can further help each other. And you touched on the concept earlier, Nathan, which is so true. I think when you get into a networking group or the networking mindset, it's not so much what you're getting, but where you can give. And being that kind of person that's giving, you will naturally start to get also. And it can be in various ways. I recently did a weight loss journey and shared with some friends. And a year later, one of my friends came up to me and said, hey, who's your trainer? How can I get in touch with her? I need to do something to jumpstart. And all of a sudden, I'm networking on behalf of my trainer. Again, just helping out. And
making those connections. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then something will come from that. And sometimes the untapped opportunities are things you're deliberately trying to work together, where you're collaborating in some capacity, or whether it be a social media campaign, or you're touting each other's businesses, or you develop a way to actually drive business to each other. Sometimes it's a lot more vague, or it doesn't really develop immediately or manifest itself immediately. But it sounds like that person that you were referring to is really focused on kind of the competition sense. Like there's a scarcity. I've got to get all my business cards out. Competitive mindset as opposed to being collaborative can directly impact your business growth, right? And your relationships. Now, one thing that we should always be competing on is attention, right? our attention, our awareness, that is up for grabs because there's so many options in the world today, especially on social media. So finding those deeper relationships, and then developing opportunities that were previously unknown is a great way to make sure you stay top of mind. So how does somebody shift from being that competitive mindset to that collaborative mindset that will then give them that positive impact on their business? Anybody can jump in on that. It wasn't specific for.
I think getting to know your competition, because if you get to know them, they don't really become your competitors anymore. I mean, everybody has to stay competitive in their business, a healthy competition. But there's going to come a time where you have a client, a patient, a business partner that needs something in your field, but the particular company that you're working at or for can't provide the resources. And so you need to know who else is in that space.
Do you have an example of that specifically, where someone that would be considered a competitor, but where you collaborated, that now you've opened up an opportunity that didn't exist that helped both of you guys?
Absolutely. There was an area that I was working for a hospice company, and we couldn't service the area that I got the referral in. And because we didn't have a clinical team close enough out there, and there would have been a service failure. And so I contacted somebody that I had met at a different hospice company and said, here's the situation. I trust you. I know you from different networking functions. Can you please, take care of this family? Absolutely. And then he contacted me on another one that he got in an area that they didn't cover. So you have to know who the competition is so that you can trust them with the referral and the referral source that you have that relationship with.
Yeah, I think it's always good to evaluate areas in your business that you might deem that you're competing with others, and then start thinking, well, where are some opportunities that I can collaborate instead of compete? And then when you do that, then you can sit down and say, hey, what are some potential synergies that we can create together that are going to actually unlock an opportunity that the industry didn't see, we didn't see, the community didn't see, whatever that looks like. So now I think that's great. I appreciate you sharing that. Let me ask this, just open this up to everybody. Have you seen or ever hesitated to collaborate because of, kind of fear of sharing knowledge or resources? And if so, what was the outcome of that? Probably not as good as it could have been otherwise. Have you ever hesitated to collaborate because of fear of sharing your knowledge or resources? And then what was the outcome?
I'll jump back in.
Okay, go ahead. That's fine.
Yes, there is that fear. There is that fear because, each company that you are working for, has their own way and spin and advertising and marketing plan, that you don't want to give away all of that. But I have come to learn that sharing the education about what you do is only going to benefit the community. If I educate my competitor on an area in hospice or palliative care that they have been sharing with their community that's incorrect, then I would pull that person aside and love to collaborate with them to give them the correct information, because that is it's all about your client, your patient, your customer.
Yeah, Nathan, I'll jump in there too and just share that, the insurance market, as we've all experienced, is fairly volatile right now. And I've, through relationships over the years locally, are friends with several of my now competitors, but because we're friends first, we have a mutual trust. And so it's kind of symbiotic in that we're trying to help each other and identify, hey, have you tried this? And how about this insurance company? Or, look at it this way. So it's really beneficial to let your guard down with those relationships. Now, come a stranger that I don't know that I would necessarily gravitate to that until I got to know them and like them and trust them. But I think there's a lot of benefit in a collaborative approach to it within our industries.
Well, you kind of led me into my next question a little bit, but what are the benefits or the advantages of businesses that operate within an ecosystem? What advantages do they have over those that try and go it alone?
I'll answer that. Going it alone, I think it brings out your competitive nature, whereas you're collaborating, you have a collaboration, you have a backup. And to jump on what Jeanne said, sometimes it's not the individual, for me anyway, that I don't mind sharing the information with. In the past, it has been company policies and attitudes that prevented me from being forthright right away until I developed a better relationship with that person. I'm pretty forthright with my information. If I know something you don't, I'll share it with you. And I think that collaboration creates a great environment for everyone, because like Jeanne said, you told them something they didn't know, and now they can share that new knowledge with the general public or their group.
Yeah, it's really, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, one of the things I see is if you're going it alone, you're not collaborative. You're not really going to benefit from networking because it's all about you and less about giving. And once you start getting into that giving mindset and you develop those relationships with your various networking groups and or individuals in other industries, it becomes much more collaborative over time, just naturally.
Exactly.
When it comes to opportunities going at it alone, you really have one opportunity, and it's a direct transaction. That's basically your only opportunity. So if you're going to unlock untapped opportunities, you've got to take advantage. You've got to leverage shared resources, knowledge, other people's networks, the ability to learn how to scale and move quickly as you grow your business, right? And all these things you wouldn't have access to if you're not learning how to. Lyndon always likes to say networking. We always forget the working part of that, right? It's not net hanging out or net referrals. It's networking, which means there's going to be, some skin in the game as far as time built, actually having to mine for opportunities. But that's the only way to build a sustainable ecosystem. Why do you want to do that? Well, you want to do that because who wants to be slinging referrals or relying on referrals the rest of their life? And I hope nobody, right? And the only way to get beyond that is to build an ecosystem, right? That's where you're going to understand the opportunities that are there, that some of them will be rather obvious and some of them won't. Let's do this. What are some untapped opportunities in your industry that could unlock some strategic partnerships? So now we're getting detailed. Now we're getting into the nitty gritty. What are some untapped opportunities in your industry that could be unlocked through strategic partnerships?
I could jump in on the insurance again, as we're all experiencing, kind of a differentiating marketplace. Some insurance companies, captive companies, are now pulling back and not offering the same kind of level of coverage at various home values, for example. And as I can tap into helping some of those other captive agents with the resources we have for the affluent and the custom homes, I can help make them look successful in their clients' eyes by providing the proper coverage where they really have no outlet today.
How would you go about establishing that relationship?
Really by introduction, making an appointment, going to lunch, going to breakfast, again, developing that relationship, know, like, and trust kind of thing, and share the mutual benefits, because at some level, I'm not going to be able to help some individuals. I can send referrals back to them and vice versa. So it's an interesting time in this marketplace too.
Jeanne and Cyndi, in the same vein, the senior care space, you obviously do a lot with dementia, Jeannie. What are some areas of opportunity that are not being mined right now in your space that you guys could work together specifically on, or that you see as some areas of opportunity?
Education, education, education.
Okay,
Yeah,
go into
I
more
agree.
detail. What do you mean there?
So the broad definition of dementia is a cognitive decline. Now, underneath that broad category of dementia, I think that there's over 100 diagnoses under that dementia category, each with its own characteristics. So a lot of people don't know that, and they can have more than one form of dementia. And what does that look like? And what is what healthcare benefits can you tap into? Who do you need on your team when you're diagnosed with some type of a dementia related illness? And I think that educating even the clinical side of healthcare on, even for doctors, your patients need to know this, or they don't know which questions to ask. So it's anticipating that. But there's always room for education in different memory care communities, different support groups, and then obviously the different neurology offices.
Okay, so what would that actually look like in practical application? How would you go about establishing that? And then what would I can see how it would benefit the individuals receiving the care from the client side, but from your side, how would you actually go about implementing that from a strategy standpoint? And what would that overall bring to your market or your partnerships with other people in the same sphere?
Good question. So it's going to be a different approach to different areas. So in a memory care community, that would be speaking with the executive director or the memory care director and saying, what are you seeing in your community that maybe your caregivers are not understanding on how to care for this particular type? Or is there a new dementia related illness that you guys are hearing about or seeing different signs and symptoms of? And what does that look like? And so for me, the collaborative effort is bringing in physical therapy, bringing in occupational therapy, bringing in music therapy, bringing in personal caregiving services. Is there a different community, rather a big memory care community versus a small residential care home that might be better for this particular person? And it's knowing those people that I can call to bring their education on from their service standpoint that's going to be better than mine to educate those people.
So go ahead, Cyndi.
Well, I wanted to say how, I want to piggyback on what she said. When we go into a person's home to do home care and take care of their non-medical home care needs, we are collaborating with Harmony Care Management, which is just an amazing job. Just want to put that in there. They're an incredible service of concierge medicine. I don't know what we'd do without them. They would educate us on the behaviors, what the client's deficits are, and that helps us come in and mold a care plan to best take care of them wherever they're at, whether it's in their home or in the memory care. And having that collaboration with physical therapy, occupational, whatever that they need, if we can come alongside them and duplicate some of those services when home health and occupational therapy can't be there, that to me is the ideal collaboration.
Well, and collaboration is kind of a sub point to our topic today. That's obviously the key to finding certain types of opportunities and beginning to build and leverage an ecosystem, which as obviously is going to take work to do that. But what is a way, and you kind of mentioned one, but I'm going to challenge you all three to think of another one. What is one way that you've personally witnessed collaboration propel your business to success? Creating an opportunity that you didn't see, which led to success in some capacity.
Well, mine has nothing to do with collaborate. This particular example I'm going to give you doesn't have a lot to do with collaborating with the medical community directly. I was in a situation.
Well, we talked about that. We talked about, like, not every untapped opportunity is a direct business relation, but it's going to lead to something that's going to help you grow or help establish your brand or your presence in the community. So go right ahead.
So I was in line at my hairdresser's, and I was getting ready to pay, and one of the checkout people were very upset because their grandmother was getting sent to yet another memory care, and they couldn't find good placement for them, and people were not communicating exactly what they could do and what they couldn't do. And I stepped in and says, look, I can set you up with a placement service. I can set you up with concierge medicine. This is my card. Have your mom call me. Well, it did work out where she's in a fabulous memory care now, and they're the happiest people in the world. And they told everybody, last time I was in there, she said, do you have some more cards? And I said, sure. So I pulled out more cards, and that is part of the ecosystem I'm working on. All of Uptown and Turtle Creek know about me now. And it's such a compliment. It's a compliment. I've got some indirect business from it, but the business didn't matter as long as I can serve the community. I mean, you know what I mean? The business did matter, but that was like a side effect of being able to serve the community and having a personal testimony of this lady who needed help for her grandmother. Good news travels fast.
What do you think you can do to continue strengthening your network based on that experience that will then lead to other types of similar opportunities, coming to fruition?
Well, one of the things that have happened is they took my card and they're like, well, I'm looking for, how can you help me find a place in the area? So I was able to give them the name of 3 assisted livings that take care of people with memory impairment that they could go visit for their loved one, which in turn, the admissions director, the executive director, the DON of those care homes were thrilled and were like, hey, we got your card. We haven't met you yet. But one of our tours came in and said that you recommended us. Why don't you come in and see what we're about? And I'm interested to know what you do. So that was kind of like this boomerang effect of that one person that I helped.
Kirk, same question to you.
So, within the agency brokerage world, I handle the affluent side of personal insurance, but we do commercial insurance, employee benefits, et cetera. And we have really embarked on a lot more of a collaborative approach to the business. So, for example, I write the personal insurance for a gentleman that runs a company up in Oklahoma, and he brought up the concept of their employee benefits. And not being my forte, I immediately reached out to one of the better producers in that field that knew the business very well. And collaboratively, we met with the C-suite of the company and really put together an advanced plan, some new and kind of creative approaches to the employee benefits. And again, it made me look like the consummate professional in the eyes of my friend and client, but also really helped their company moving forward to get the proper coverage that they needed. So that's just an internal collaboration that has worked very well to help businesses and the owners of the businesses.
Jeannie, same question to you as we wrap up. Before we'll top the segment off with what's the difference here. We'll wrap up our topic segment in just a moment, but I'll let you answer this last question. Same thing. What's one way you've personally witnessed collaboration propel a business or your business to success?
So the relationships that I developed when I was working in Houston for many years, I'm now, of course, up here in the Dallas area. I had to move my mother into an independent living community, and that was not my realm down there. And so I contacted a placement agency, and I knew this young lady from when she first started in healthcare, and I took her around and I introduced her and opened doors for her. And now she's a leader in her community doing that. And I got her into that community that she found for my mom. And then she was able to recommend some different specialists for my mom that she needed as well. So that got her in the door of that community because she hadn't been in there. So, and now she sends several clients there, and she does well.
Well, I love that. If you're listening today and you're thinking, what's the most significant thing I can do to start building an ecosystem that's going to lead to untapped opportunities? First is stop thinking of networking as a transaction and start thinking of it as relationship building. I think we say that a lot. It can be kind of overstated, but you can't bypass it. You have to, we say it all the time, but so many people still have that transactional mindset. Kirk, you just ran into somebody the other day we just talked about. Make a list of businesses or individuals that you can collaborate with. Start shifting your approach from seeking only what you can get to how you can help bring value to them or to their community, right? So it's a mindset shift. When you do that, all of a sudden, you'll start seeing areas of opportunity that are untapped, unrealized, much deeper collaborative efforts that you didn't think possible, and even beyond just your particular business. So we'll wrap up the show. We'll hit the sounder for What's the Difference.
And now it's time for What's the Difference?
What's the difference? Where I ask a question that will wrap up the topic between two things. What's the difference between A and B? Give me your quick 20-second answer. If you ramble on, we're going to buzz you, but don't get offended. It's all in fun. So hopefully we haven't had to buzz anybody in a while. Jeannie, I'm gonna start with you. What's the difference between networking and ecosystem building?
So networking is a one-on-one. You are introducing yourself to somebody in a networking group to then move on to that ecosystem building, where that is a group, a collaborative group rather than a one-on-one during networking.
I like where you're going. Networking is about meeting people, while ecosystem is about creating a structured network where multiple parties collaborate for mutual growth. So very good. Kirk, next one to you. What's the difference between a strategic partnership and a collaboration?
Strategic partnership is going to tend to be more of the long-term alliance, and you're going to want to expand and get to know each other so that you can continue to grow the relationship, and that's going to lead to collaboration ultimately.
Yeah, but and I like what you said. You talk about long-term alliances, shared objectives. Collaborations sometimes they're more short-term projects. Not bad, but you build a strategic alliance. That's a long-lasting endeavor, which is something good. They both serve their purpose, but strategic partners, I think I would put it there for continued business growth, whereas collaborations may be temporary, right? Cyndi, next question to you. What's the difference between being between transactional networking and relationship-driven networking? You're muted, Cyndi.
Sorry about that. I think that relationship-driven networking focuses on the long-term value of the relationship, and it prioritizes building the relationship, and which is also building the trust. And whereas transactional, whenever I think of transactional, I think of buying a car.
Yeah.
You pick out what you want, you go to them. I think I want this one. And they check you out. They don't remember your name, and they never see you again. They're just going to the next person in the parking lot, picking out another car.
Yeah, transactional networking is all about quick wins, immediate results, while relationship driven prioritizes trust and long-term mutual benefit. So very good. Okay, when we come back, we're going to go in, dive a little bit deeper with Jeanne and Kirk and Cyndi. So stick around. We'll be right back on the Community Difference Plano.
At the Community Difference Business Development Alliance, powered by the Difference Media LLC, our mission is to empower small business owners by transcending acceptable behaviors and outcomes into exceptional realms. We foster a culture of self-awareness, accountability, and proactive engagement, guiding individuals to recognize and overcome indifference towards transformative actions, habits, behaviors, and processes driving meaningful change. Through strategic networking, impactful content creation, and innovative top-of-mind strategies, we cultivate brand relevance and differentiation, enabling our partners and the Difference community to stand out in crowded markets. With a focus on building authentic connections, amplifying brand presence, and driving sustainable growth, we equip entrepreneurs with the tools and mindset to navigate the complexities of entrepreneurship with confidence, innovation, and resilience. Together, we aim to be the catalyst for difference makers, propelling them towards their highest potential and leaving a lasting impact on their businesses and communities. That's where our community podcasts come in. These podcasts lie directly at the intersection of innovative business development and community involvement, helping to bridge the gap between small business obscurity often seen in our communities. The community-based podcasts called the Community Difference Series are an integral part of integrating all facets of modern business development into a package of great content, positive impact branding, and top-of-mind presence, thus fulfilling the greater mission we set forth. When we set out to be difference makers, we can learn to make a difference and find the success and impact innately desired by all business owners and entrepreneurs. We are difference makers.
Welcome back. As we enter our final segment, we're going to dive in deeper with Cyndi and Kirk and Jeanne, specifically around, I want to have you guys share your professional journey, but specifically more about the role of community involvement. How has that helped build trust and rapport that has ended up benefiting your work? Jeanne, as our guest here, I'll start with you, if you don't mind.
Sure. The biggest example for me was when I moved to North Dallas from Houston. I developed my network and my collaborations and ecosystem after 13 years. And so when I moved up here, I had to start all over. That was very humbling. And so I threw a wide net and went to every single networking function that I could think of until I narrowed that down into how can I bring value to this group, develop my ecosystem, and have them reciprocate in kind. Are these the people that are going to benefit me and me benefit them? And so that is the start of business development and developing your ecosystem.
Let's get specific on that if we can. What are some your contributions to the community in a number of different ways? How have those experiences shaped? Like, give me a specific example, if you would, on how that's experienced your professional growth, the success of your business, created an opportunity. If we kind of flash back to our last segment, give me some a specific example, if you don't mind.
I enjoy
put you on the spot there. I know.
That's okay. I enjoy learning new things. So anybody who is an expert in their field and they are speaking on something that is even remotely relatable to either my clients, my referral sources that I can pass on, I love going and hearing them speak. So I try and attend a lot of those events, different podcasts, different speakers that I can learn from and be a resource of information, but then also be able to say, hey, I know a guy, I know a girl let me connect you to. So there's a lot of that. I keep very connected with different national groups in my field, in my healthcare field. There's different palliative care groups, especially that I'm very passionate about, that I follow on social media, so I stay on top of what's happening at that national level, like we started talking about in the very beginning of this.
Cyndi, same thing to you. What are some examples? I know you're heavily involved at the local level, especially in Collin County Veterans. You do a lot of things on the ground from a nonprofit standpoint. How have you found those contributions to the community shape your professional development, your opportunities that have opened up, your brand, your professional journey on the whole?
Well, like Jeanne, I moved here from the Houston metro area just 5 years ago. So I did not cast my net. I kind of kept it narrow, and I didn't develop professionally or personally. So I decided that I was going to narrow my search, and I came across the position I have now. And, no one had heard of us. I was their first marketing person. So getting out there and talking to people, getting to know people, building their trust was a challenge because they already had their ecosystem in place. So I had to somehow become a part of that ecosystem.
How did you do that? What did you do specifically?
Well, a lot of it has been volunteer work. A lot of it has been community work. A lot of it has been, I'm going to go back to the whys. If there was, I would, keeping the line of communication open and meeting them face to face, like Kirk mentioned, an introduction, getting to know what they need. Is it a personal need? Is it a logical need? Is it an emotional need? What is it that's going on with them? Is some need that I could fill, or pass it on? Hey, I have a guy downtown that will fix your car. He's very reasonable. You'll be in and out the same day. Those kind of things, and also sharing people my values and seeing if their values are like mine, and volunteering for my passions. I'm passionate about the military. I come from a military family. So the Collin County Veterans Coalition was just like a no-brainer. Had to get involved in that. And my passion for seniors, the Senior Service Alliance, getting to know those ladies for collaboration, and they're my backup. And if I need something, I call Jeanne. She'll call me. If I don't know, I'll give her someone to call. And how that has helped me personally is I've gained a lot of valuable relationships that I can use personally. And just for instance, if you're looking for an example, I was at the Collin County Veterans Coalition collaborating with one of would-be competitors, the world would say. And she's my backup. I'm her backup. She got a call, and she immediately called me and said, I can't take this person. I cannot handle this veteran today. He's out of our service area. Can you take him? Absolutely. Absolutely. And that kind of collaboration is very rewarding. And it's also letting people know that you are a collaborator, that you're not selfish. That is so important. You have to be the collaborator. You have to be known in the community as someone who's a giver.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100%. Kirk, wrap us up on this segment. What are some ways that your contributions to the community or your involvement have directly impacted your business growth and kind of told the story of your professional development?
Sure. Thanks, Nathan. So, as an independent insurance broker, I transitioned from the insurance company side where networking wasn't really as important because I had, specific agents I was calling on and developed relationships there. But as I transitioned into an independent agent, the concept and the power of networking was not lost on me, and the need to be real, to be in person, and continue to educate my sphere, my groups about the differentiating points of insurance. So it's really allowed me to grow my business as a result. I sit on the board of the Allen Eagles High School lacrosse club, and been on there for 2 years. And last year we talked about our taxes, and I said, hey, these seem really high. I've got a guy, I've got a gal. Let's just have a second look. And lo and behold, we cut our costs by about $1,500. And for a not-for-profit, that's big. Same scenario was their professional E&O insurance. I was asked to look at it and confirmed that the coverage is actually really good and very well priced for not-for-profit. So it's being kind of present and availing yourself to your professional capabilities to the groups that you're within. It's really made a difference.
Yeah, I think that a great way of looking at it is just, this goes back to our topic is, when you invest into the community, that didn't have anything to do with your business, like lacrosse. You love it. I think your kids play lacrosse. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's an opportunity that you didn't even know, was going to be there, but it positions you as somebody that is, cares that they're giving back, which is real. I mean, we don't do it just to have that, but it's a result of, it's hard to be successful in business if you don't get involved. Right. And I think, thank you, Diane. Yeah. Diane says it's all about investing in relationships. 100% true. As we wrap up here today, I'm going to start with you, Jeannie. Give us about 20, 30 seconds on your biggest takeaway from today.
My biggest takeaway from today is that it's important. It's important to build your ecosystem. And, if you think that you're going to be as successful as you can be doing it on your own, you're missing a lot of opportunities. And you're missing out on a lot of really good friendships and relationships and being able to help more people.
Couldn't agree more. Cyndi, what's something that you've learned today that you're going to add, change, do differently? You're muted too.
Well, one of the things I'm going to do is evolve my ecosystem. I have been coming across opportunities that I'm not saying I've ignored them, but I've put them aside because I was on task doing something else. And I came to realize I'm missing out. I'm missing out on those opportunities that I put over here on the side, just temporarily, of course, but I'm missing out on it. And I need to pay attention to those relationships and those introductions and develop them.
Kirk, to you, what's your biggest takeaway? What did you learn today that you're going to implement or take away?
Well, I'll start off with the group here. I know Nathan, I got to know Jeannie, got to know Cyndi. So just as part of my network, I've just expanded right here. I think that reemphasizes the balance and the need for relationship networking, developing that ecosystem, reemphasize what I've been trying to do and what I've been doing. And some of the individuals I've met over time that I didn't invest enough time and relationship into, I have to rekindle that. And this just reemphasizes the best approach.
I love that. Well, guys, thank you so much for being on today. We'll wrap up our fourth segment of the topic, building the right relationships to build your business, leveraging strategic networking to unlock untapped potential. We'll do that next week. We thank you so much. Thank you to our guest. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to all those that were watching live and commenting. We will see you guys back here next week. Have a blessed day.
Thank you for watching today's show.
The Community Difference Plano was made possible by Nathan Smith with the Enfuego Group, Diane Castle with Castle to Castle, connecting charities to fundraising solutions, Tracy Duff with Assisted Living Locators, Jacqueline Kreider with Financial Mastery Simplified, Christy Moe with Cohesive Confidence, Susanna Austin with K9 Resorts, Audra Hooper with Audra Hooper Integrated Health, Cyndi Durrance with A Place at Home, and by Kirk Hodgson with Assured Partners. The Community Difference Plano. Together, we can make the difference.